Hello, everybody. It's me again, Rich Andre. And today we're going to be talking about the skeletal, the muscular, and the integumentary systems. Okay, so when it comes to support and movement, all of these factors, okay, play a major role in your body. Okay, so let's first start with the skeletal system. So, as you all may know, okay, the skeletal system consists of the bones in our body, and those bones in the body help with the structure or the overall shape or the structure of the body, and it also helps with our movement. Okay, so the skeletal system is composed of the ligament. Okay, so ligaments, they basically connect. Okay, they are this tissue that connects bones to other bones, or the part where bones, okay, some bones, okay, it is the part where a bone meets another bone. Okay, and ligament helps with that sort of connection between the bones. The second is a tendon. Okay, so if you can see here, this is the shoulder joint, and the tendon, okay, it basically acts as the connector for. It basically acts as the tissue that connects our muscles to our bones. That's why we're able to move. That's why we're able to walk. That's why we're able to run. So many things rely on these parts of the skeletal system for our movement and for our structure, and also for the protection of our organs. Okay, like just like the heart and the lungs, it is protected by the ribs, and the brain is protected by the cranium, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the skeletal system really helps with the structure, the protection of the organs, and also helps with our movement, such and such. Okay, so the third part of the skeletal system, the third component of the skeletal system are cartilages. So what are cartilages? Okay, they are basically this hard, sort of flexible tissue in our body, okay, that basically acts as sort of this shock absorber. So if you were to be punched in the face, okay, if you were to be punched in the face or a punch in the shoulder, the cartilage inside your shoulder, okay, inside your body, will help you. Okay, will help to protect your muscles and your bones. Okay, just like in a car. Okay, when you see the tires of a car, you sort of have this shock absorber as well. Whenever you're driving through a bumpy road, a really bumpy road, you're not just going to, the car is not just going to be able to drive through that bumpy road without a shock absorber on the parts of the tires. Because if it didn't, okay, if it didn't have that, the tires wouldn't be able to move. It would be more likely to be prone to just getting destroyed. And the same thing is prevalent in our bodies, in our skeletal system. The cartilage plays a major role in absorbing the shock in order for our bones and our muscles to not be damaged or injured. Okay? So the muscle, okay, the fourth part of the skeletal system is the muscles. Okay? But the muscles, they are also a part of the muscular system. We're going to talk about it later. Okay? Yeah, but it is basically just a brief introduction for the systems. So muscle, as you all may know, okay, it is a very fibrous. When we say fibrous, okay, you can imagine fiber, okay. You can imagine a single strand of a blanket. Let's say a blanket. If you zoom in on that blanket, you're going to see individual and various sort of stitches that just make up the whole or the part of the blanket in general. And muscles, they're like blankets, okay? They're like hard, fibrous, and flexible blankets for our bones. You see? And they also help with movement. So those are the four fundamental parts of the skeletal system. And the whole sort of big picture for the skeletal system is that it helps with the structure of our body. It helps to sort of protect our organs. And it also helps with our movement. Okay? Walking, running, etc. It helps with a lot of those. If we didn't have the skeletal system, we'd just be an amalgamation of organs. Okay? We'd probably just be on the ground right now, and just this little slimy blob of organs if we didn't have the skeletal system. So be sure to thank the skeletal system whenever you can. Okay? So the second type of system that we're going to be talking about today is the muscular system. Okay? So what is the muscular system? So your body composes of about 600, approximately 600 muscles in your body. You have approximately 600 muscles. That's a lot. If you're thinking about it, there is about 10 or 20 muscles for every part of your body, like your arms, or your chest, whatever it is in your body, you have muscles in them. Okay? And those muscles have three types. There are three types of muscles. The cardiac muscle, which is the muscle that helps with your heart. Okay? The cardiac muscle is distinctly different from other muscles because this type of muscle doesn't get tired. Okay? It doesn't get tired just like the other muscles could. If you imagine the muscle in your bicep, for example, when you work out, okay, you're doing a lot of sets, a lot of reps in the gym. That muscle in your bicep is going to be prone to hypertrophy. Okay, and that means that muscle is basically breaking down as it's being exposed to stress. The cardiac muscle, okay, from my own understanding, cannot be that way because it's the very lifeline of your body. If the cardiac muscle was as brittle as the muscles in your bicep, we wouldn't be alive right now. Okay, the heart wouldn't be pumping blood into our body, into our brain, nothing like that. So the cardiac muscle, of course, okay, it is the muscle that helps that basically composes that basically composes your whole heart. Okay, so that is the cardiac muscle. So what is the smooth muscle? The second type of muscle. If you can see from this illustration right here, the smooth muscle pertains to the stomach. Things in the digestive system. For example, the stomach. Okay. Your digestive system wouldn't be able to work properly if it wasn't for the smooth muscles. Okay? Like, for example, in the small intestine or the large intestine, okay? The food that you just consumed and have already used, okay? And have already used up all the nutrients inside that food. They're going to be transported eventually to the large intestine and to the smaller intestine. And in order to be able to transport that food, you need muscles. You need the muscles because you aren't going to be able to manually just push the food down. And that's where the smooth muscles come in. The smooth muscles are sort of these involuntary muscles. Okay? And we're going to get into involuntary muscles in a little bit, as well as voluntary muscles. But smooth muscles, okay, they are involuntary muscles that basically help to push the food outside of you when it comes to the digestive system. Okay? So the third type of muscle is skeletal muscle. Okay? These type of muscles, they are a part of your bones. As I said earlier with a skeletal system, okay? The tendons help to connect these skeletal muscles to your bones in order to help you move. Okay? And these skeletal muscles, they take in information from the nervous system in order to help you move. Okay? Or as far as I've understood it. Okay? So the skeletal muscles, they're basically a part of your bones. They're basically connected to your bones to help you move. So there are two types of muscles, voluntary and involuntary. When we talk about voluntary muscles, what do you think first? Okay, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? For example, okay, voluntary muscles. What are they? That's right. The muscles in your arms, they are voluntary. Okay? If they were involuntary, you'd probably be waving your arms erratically right now. But you aren't. They only move when you want them to. So they are voluntary. Okay? So involuntary muscles, they're the muscles, they're the cardiac muscles, the smooth muscles. These two are involuntary. Okay? You have no control over these muscles. They just happen or they just function entirely on their own. Okay? So that's basically the gist of the muscular system. Okay? There are three types of muscles, two sort of categories of muscles, and all of these things, okay, all 600 muscles in your body help to make you move, to sustain your life, and also to digest food. Okay? Just for an example, of course. Now, the third system that we're going to be talking about is the integumentary systems. What is the integumentary systems? That's a very big word. Well, it's basically easy. Okay? So we have the hair. The integumentary system is composed of the hair, the skin, the nails, okay? And so many more. But those three are one of the parts or the components of integumentary systems. Let's start with the hair, okay? As you can see here, the hair is basically part of your skin. Our hair is basically a part of our skin. Deep inside the hair, deep inside the skin, is the hair bulb, where it's basically the hair is planted, or where the hair is basically located originally. Okay? So there are three types of skin as well. The second component of the integumentary system is skin. There are three sort of layers of skin: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The epidermis contains, see, this little part right here, this top layer right here, it is the topmost layer of your body when it comes to skin. Okay, so the skin is very, very big. It's basically the largest organ in your body, as many of you have already heard. And about 1 inch of skin, okay, fun fact, 1 inch of skin contains about 19 million cells. That is a lot. And you can think about that, just 1 inch contains 19 million cells. And cells are basically the sort of the basic element of your body that composes your body. Okay, so epidermis is the very topmost layer of your body when it comes to skin. And this is the thing. This is the layer of the skin that you are able to visibly see. The second type, or the second layer of skin, is the dermis. Okay, and this is where, okay, glands like the sebaceous gland basically reside in, and this is where the oils, this is where the sweat comes from. Okay, oil, sweat. This is basically where they come from. The dermis part, which is just underneath the epidermis layer. Okay, and the sebaceous gland. Okay, the sebaceous gland. This is where the sebum or the oils of your body are basically located in or resided in. Okay, so the third layer of the skin is hypodermis, which is the very, very, very bottom part of your skin. Okay, and this is basically where most of the action comes from. Okay, so we have like nerves here, and then we have like blood vessels. Okay, so and so. So, excuse me there. The integumentary system composes of hair. Okay, and hair is basically made up of keratin and as well as their nails. They're also made of keratin. And they all, okay, the integumentary system basically supports your body. It keeps it away from germs. It keeps it away from bacteria. It also protects your body from the UV rays of the sun in order to prevent sort of illnesses like cancer, skin cancer, or skin burns. That's basically the very most sort of gist or general function of the integumentary systems. Okay, so that's about it for the three systems that we discussed today. Okay, the skeletal, the muscular system, and the integumentary system. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned anything from this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, a like, a comment, and if you could, it's free to subscribe. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video. This is me, Rich Andre. Thank you for watching.